On the bench, we have the motor off of a Necchi BU Mira. This machine, there's some rotted wiring coming out of the bottom of this box, and I started to get this apart and realized I probably should have the camera on. But there's a cover here. It has 4 self-tapping screws that go into this plastic mounting cover, and 2 metal screws, big ones, that hold the motor to this main bracket. And then this cover has all of the wiring mounted to it. And you can see there's a kind of an old transformer in here. And I went online looking for a wiring diagram for this machine and didn't nobody, like, there's a diagram, but nobody knows basically anything about this transformer, because this transformer is used for, has a couple windings in it. It has, let's see if I can separate this a little bit. These 2 blue wires are 12 volt AC, and they go out to the lamp on the motor, and, or the lamp on the machine rather. And then it's got the motor control goes also through the transformer for the high and low speed. And all this wire is just so old that I need to carefully stretch it out to get at these 2 rotten wires here, to get these out of the way. So the plug is here, and it's got plastic nuts on the back side. So I'm going to grab and see if just, these are stamped metal nuts, sorry, not plastic nuts. But this is kind of set up similarly to the 3-pin Singer plug that appears on the 201 and some of the other black machines. Nut off. I'm going to remove these rotten wires. These rotten wires are connections for a cabinet controller, and if you have the pedal cord to plug into the socket on the other side of this, 2 wires for the cabinet control are not needed. So I'm just going to remove them so that I can put this together and test it and see if the transformer does anything suspicious, like make odd noise or trip the breaker. And if the transformer seems to be okay, I'm not going to worry about it, since it's impossible, or it's very hard to find replacements for these transformers. Alright. I was tightening that. I didn't get any of the, didn't appear to move any wires to touch them. Okay. And I did find a wiring diagram online, so I'll probably put that in the video. But again, this transformer is a 5-tap transformer, and I suspect it is got 3 windings in it. which would be mains winding and the 12 volt main winding primary for the that also and then a secondary 12 volt and then another secondary winding for the low speed control. Unfortunately, all of that wiring you wouldn't be able to test to figure it out. You'd kind of have to cut one of these open to see what's happening, which obviously I can't do if I need to use this transformer and hope it's good. But I removed those old rotted wires, so we can put these self-tapping screws back in. And these are a fine self-tapped screw, so we need to be extremely careful to try and get the same threads that they cut the first time they went into the plastic cover, because in particular fine tap or fine thread self-tapping screws will crush their old threads and strip out really badly if you cross thread them. And I really, like, if that happens, I don't want to have to like use super glue to fix the threads in there, or some other kind of glue to get the threads to hold, because that will just make it worse if someone has to open this up in the future. Now that I'm sure all those self-tapping screws went in well, I can do the plain threaded screws. I have taped over the 12 volt connections off of that transformer, and I have the new control pedal, so make sure that, yep, that fits in the socket. We'll set our speed for high, which should not involve the transformer first. That way, and our main power switch off. So plug this, plugged in at the power strip. Okay. The power switch does turn the lamp and the main power on. No noise. Okay. And flip to low speed control. Not hearing any noises or feeling heat or seeing smoke, so that transformer must be okay. Alright. And we got the rotten wire out of there. If this machine had a cabinet control that it needed, these two wires would just have to be wired up to a pigtail with a socket on it for the cabinet controller to plug into. But I'll be able to put this back on the machine it came off of. Alright, this machine is laying on its back. I set the motor bracket on the two mounting bolts from the end of the machine and ran the two wires from the blue wires off of that transformer to the bottom here. And it's got this block for the lamp, and one wire goes on each side of this terminal block. And because this is 12 volts, there's no like real electrical danger. So We just want to make sure that the wires are in place securely so that they don't wiggle free. And then the other side of this block has one wire that goes up to the fixture on the machine, and then the fixture grounds out through the body of the machine and comes back to a little grounding tab that connects to the other side. Because again, it's only 12 volts, so there's no electrical danger for the lamp here. But if you have a Mira or any Necchi that uses the 12 volt lamp fixture and it starts burning out lamps, you'll need to check your transformer to see that make sure your transformer is still properly isolated, because one of the things when a transformer shorts or has an insulation issue, sometimes it can put voltages across the different coils. But since we checked this transformer, it's not like buzzing. Typically if there's a short or something wrong with the transformer, it'll buzz a lot, but this one is quiet and seems to be perfectly functional, so I'm gonna work on the principle that it is in good condition currently.